Hi, my name is Sylvia. I am a certified health coach and yoga instructor, and today's routine is a hip opening and strengthening routine. So not only we're going to work on your hip flexibility but also your hip strength. This routine is easy to adapt and I'll show you some variations, but if you struggle, I also created a hip opening routine with a strap. That one is great for beginners and you'll find that if you click on the link in the description below, it's in my blog post. We're going to get started by standing up. You're going to stand up with your feet more than hip distance apart. Lengthen your spine as you inhale and fold over as you exhale. Here you may not reach the floor, and if you can't reach the floor, that's perfectly fine. You can use yoga blocks or you can just hang at whatever level you're at. As you exhale, tilt your tailbone up higher to stretch deeper. You can also pedal into your legs, bend one knee, bend the other, and see how that feels. Inhale back up. Exhale. Bring your feet closer together. Exhale into your yogi squat. Here in your yogi squat, you can keep your heels up if that makes it more doable. You can use a bolster under your heels, but try to keep your squat really active. You can lift your butt high if you have to, and then you can lower it down. Slowly bring your seat on the mat. Next, you're going to outstretch your legs, and you may need blocks. That helps. If you have blocks here, we're going to work on your hip flexor strength. That will help you increase your hip strength and flexibility. And you're going to do 5 on each side. You're going to lift your right foot over, up and over that block, down. So that's one. And the way you make it harder is you bring your hands further in front. To make it easier, you can lean back a little. That's 2, 3, 4, and 5. Now we're going to do the other leg. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Put your block aside. Bring your right foot in front and your left leg back. We're going to get in your lizard lunge. The lizard lunge is definitely one of my favorite stretches to increase your hip flexibility. And we're going to either stay here, or you can lower your elbows down on a block, or even possibly lower yourself right to the mat. And as you stretch here, I want you to pay attention to what your knee is doing. Try to keep your knee towards your body. Energize that right leg and bring it closer to your upper body. Another thing you can do is you can imagine, as you are in this pose, that you are pressing your arms towards you so that your chest is opening and moving forward. Next, you can get back on your hands and you're going to lift your left knee off the mat. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Switch leg. Lower to your level. And feel that knee moving towards you. Work on opening your chest. We're gonna lift that right knee off the mat. 1, 2, 3, and 4, 5. Now you're going to bring your right knee near your right wrist. We're gonna get into pigeon. Here you may need a block. If you want to sit on a block, just place the block under your right glute. And you can sit like that, or use your leg strength. That's where hip opening and strengthening come in. We are not only stretching into your hips here, but we're strengthening your hips by using the power of your legs to lift you up. Inhale, lift higher. Exhale, lower yourself. Next, you can open your leg a little bit more if you want. You don't have to, but we're just gonna stretch here for a few breaths. Inhale, back up, switch leg. Bring your left knee near your left wrist and keep your leg active, scissoring towards one another to straighten your hip as you're opening your hips. Inhale, feel the breath coming up as you activate your legs. Exhale, maybe see if you can sink lower in your stretch. One last time, inhale. Exhale. Lower as much as you can as you bring your forearms on the mat. Inhale. We're going to do the boat pose. Another great hip flexor straightening exercise. In this boat pose, you can keep your knees bent. Here, you want to make sure that you're keeping your chest open, so you're drawing your shoulder blades back and down. And then you can let go. Also, swing your legs if you want. One, two, three. Bring your feet back on the mat. Now you're going to get back into your wide-legged forward fold. Inhale, lengthen your spine, and then fold forward. Now shift your weight into your left leg as you straighten your right leg. You can press your right heel on the mat, and then you're going to lower into that right bended leg as far down as you can. It doesn't have to be really low. You can stay like that, or you can make it all the way down here, and we're going to stay here to stretch and straighten this side of your hips. As you press that right heel on the mat, you can bend that right knee a little bit too. Then inhale back up, and then bend that right leg. Press that left heel on the mat. Inhale back up into your forward fold. Now you're going to pivot your feet towards the top of your mat. You're going to shift your weight into your right foot and lift your back leg into half moon. And in this half moon pose, what you want to do is you want to stack your hips and your shoulders. And at first, it's difficult to do. I'm still struggling. So do your best. Stack them as much as you can. You can grow in your practice with time. Back down. We're going to switch sides. So pivot your feet to the other side of your mat, towards the back of your mat. Shift your weight into your left foot, and then bring your right leg up as you stack your hips and your shoulders. Bring that right foot back on the mat. And next we're going to get in your frog pose. Get on your hands and knees and open your knees with your feet pointing out. That is an excellent hip opening exercise. And you can choose your level. So if you're right here, stay right here, and you can open your hips more. Go ahead and open your hips more. If that feels good, you can bring your forearms on the mat. You can even bring your chest on the mat. In the frog pose, I like to kind of go back deeper. I bring my pelvis back as much as I can, and then maybe go forward a bit, go back into the stretch. Bring your feet towards the middle of your butt and then sit up. The last two exercises that we'll be doing are pretty difficult. I think half moon is difficult. Those two are kind of like half moon, but I will show you an easier variation. I like doing those drills because they are really excellent for your hip mobility, your overall mobility. And let me show you. You're going to start by shifting your weight on your left foot. And so the beginner variation here would be to just lift your right leg as much as you can and then lower back down. And so you can do that. We're going to do 5 repeats. The harder variation that I'm working on is to tuck my right knee in towards my chest and then kick my right foot to the side, keeping the chest open. So that's what makes it really hard. And then that's 1, 2, whoops. 3. You can use support if that helps, right? 4 and 5. We're gonna switch to the other leg. Bend your left knee into your chest. Kick your left leg to the side. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Our last exercise is somewhat similar. If you picked the leg lifts like we did here, you're going to lift your leg and pulse 5 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. With my kick up variation, we're just going to kick once. So I'm kicking up here and then pulsing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Other side. Bringing that left knee in, extending that left leg, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So you're done for today's hip strength and flexibility routine. As everything else, consistency is key. Doesn't matter what you do, as long as you do a little bit every day. 15 minutes a day is all you need, and you'll see huge improvements. Don't forget to track your progress. That makes a huge difference. See you next week.